Hi, I'm Tim. I'm just going to give you a quick run through of my share price analyzer um, solution that I've built. This is the GitHub page, and I will post a link to this in the video description. What it contains is just a brief overview of how to use it. If you would like to download the code, you can just click on code here, and then you can, if you have a GitHub desktop installed, you can download it through that, or you can download the zip, or you can clone it through any GitHub process. All right, I'm going to flip over to the Visual Studio solution. So this is the solution open in Visual Studio. And what you'll see in the solution, there are actually two projects. The first one is Share Price Analyzer, which is a Python project, and then Share Price Analyzer DB, which is a SQL Server solution project. So I'm just going to go ahead and expand both of these. So the main Python script is called Share Price Analyzer. I'm going to just open that up, and there are two submodules here: Fetch Stock Price History and Fetch Stock Price Info. Right, so just running through the main script. Firstly, I've just got an exit function here because when we start the script, it will run continuously until the user is told to stop it. And the way we do that is just by checking if the escape key has been pressed. All right, so this is the main function. And what I'll just run through it quickly. So firstly, there's a list of stock symbols. So these are the company I currently work for, Deco, and the competitors in the US and Europe. And so here they are: Deco, Randstad, Manpower, Hayes, Robert Half, and Kelly. And what we're going to do, so firstly, we're going to fetch some stock information about this. So this is the kind of the full name of the company, what currency it's traded in, where it's listed, etc. And then what we're going to do is fetch the stock price history by day. So this is going to show the day's opening rate, the closing rate, and the volume for the day. All right. So what we move on to next is collecting the live information. So the by the minute information as the stocks are traded. So firstly, we're gonna put this in a loop that will continue until we're told to exit with this exit check function. And we also have a counter that will initialize to 0. And what we want to do is fetch the minute by minute information. We're going to do that every 60 seconds because there's no point collecting it continuously all the time. Um, so we initialize our counter I to 0, and if the counter is less than or equal to 0, we're going to fetch the stock price history by minute. What happens then is that we reinitialize the counter to 60, and then we'll decrement this by 1 every time we loop over. And at the bottom here, you'll see we've got a time.sleep function, which just causes the script to wait 1 second. So if this counts as initialized to 60, it loops 60 times. That means every 60 seconds, we're going to fetch the stock price information. What we also have is just a brief function that every 5 seconds, it just tells us how soon to the next live price update. All right, so to demonstrate this, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to press start, and a command shell window is going to open now. It's going to start fetching the initial price, the share price info, and the daily stock history. So there we go. We fetched it for Adecco. Now we're fetching it for Randstad, um, Manpower, and then so this is the stock price info. So the name, the currency, etc. And this is the day by day stock history. So right, so Robert Half, and then we should just have Kelly, and so that's fetching Kelly. Right, so now what it does, it moves on to fetching the live price information. So it does that quite quickly because there's not much of it. It's just fetching the information for the last day. And once it's fetched that, it's reached a wait mode. So now it's going to wait 60 seconds, and it's counting down till we get to the next set of live price updates. Um, and what we can do at this point, if we want to stop, we can just press and hold escape, and there we go. It says stopping, and that exits the script immediately for us. All right, so let's kick that off again. Let's keep that running. And I'm just going to move that off the screen while that carries on working. So what I have here, so this is the price history by minute function that's stored in the price history module. So there's two main functions here: fetch stock price history minute and fetch stock price history by day. So what the minute does, it collects the up-to-date minute by minute information. So I've got a from date and a to date that are initialized from the current date and time. And then what I'm using is the Wire Finance. So this is the Yahoo Finance API that's been wrapped in a Python module. And what I'm able to do is create an object called a ticker. And using that ticker, I'm able to fetch history information. And that very nicely, it loads it into a pandas data frame. I'm able to rename the columns here. And then once I've got my data frame with the data that I want, I can connect to my SQL Server database. So this is a SQL database. I've got this open right here. So this is open in Management Studio, and this is open in Azure Data Studio, whichever you prefer. So there we're connecting to it. And then what we do, we delete some information. I'll explain what this table is in a minute. So it's deleting it's essentially the old history that it fetched last time, and then it's writing the new information it's just fetched. And there we go. And then we move that information from our increment table into a stage, and then finally into our fact um, table, where it will be nice and clean for querying. And then stock by history day is effectively the same thing, but the main difference is the interval period is 1 day, and we're looking at a much larger period in time. All right, so the tables are slightly different, hence why I haven't refactored this into one function. Okay, and then stock price info, this is this collecting. So I'm collecting the symbol name, the stock name, and the currency it's trading at, and I'm writing that to this table dimension dot stocks. Right, so let's close that. So this is, so we can see there is it running. So it's fetching the live prices, it's waiting 60 seconds, fetching the live prices again, and then you're waiting again. Right, so what I can do, if I pop over to Visual Studio, sorry, to Management Studio. So this is the fact.stock price history minute. So this is showing the minute by minute information. And if I just run that now, we can see the last information that was fetched was at 1324. So it's a little bit behind, and that's because Yahoo's API that I'm using is 100% free. I do not need to pay a penny for it. If you want more up to date, more, blow by blow, second by second stock price information, you'll need to shell out some money. But this one is free. I don't even need to authenticate myself as a user. I can just put as much information as I want. And yeah, so and again, I can look at the same thing in Azure Data Studio. So there we go, minute by minute information up to 1326. So just let's close that. Let's close that part of the module. So the share price, the analyzer DB. What I have is I've structured an ETL process into effectively three stages. One, we have our increment. So this table is containing just the data we fetched for the moment. So the Python script writes to increment, and then we have a staging table. So this includes all the history. So it will take the increment data, compare it, and do either an update and an insert. If information already exists in here, it will update it. Otherwise, it will insert it as a new record in this table. And then finally, we have following Kimball methodologies, we've got our fact tables where we have the stock price history by day and the stock price history by minute. And then we have two dimension tables. So we've got dimension.stocks and dimension.calendar. So if we want, we can very easily join. So I can, let's just e dot. I've forgotten what I called the field. So it's a dot symbol, and I'm joining that on b dot symbol. So if we let's just do a star and then b star to fetch that, and I've pressed F5, and there you go. They're showing the currency, so you can see the currency that this is trading in. Different shares have different currency, and then that's the full name. All right, that is pretty much it. So so now you can, so you've got this database. The ideal would be that you would probably use a tool like Power BI to connect to it. And I will show you a Power BI report that I've built, and and yeah, or you could use SSRS or whatever you prefer. All right. Um, I will put my LinkedIn and my GitHub links in the description. Thanks very much for watching.